Welcome to another episode of Cruising with the Clements. We're in Monroe, Washington this week outside Seattle and only 2 weeks away from Alaska. Come join us. We're at our second Thousand Trails and par for the course, there's too many spots because we are early in the season. So we're gonna go check out the spots that are by the river. We just went through the main section, so we're gonna go check them out.
Okay,
Let's keep walking.
we're walking and talking.
We are at our second Thousand Trails, Thousand Trails Thunderbird. So we're outside of Seattle and Monroe, Washington.
Yep. And so just like the last Thousand Trails, there's too many options and we don't really know what to choose. So this particular place has 3 different sections, and the sections are like the upper hill in a forest, and then down here there's 2 sections by the river that seem to have more sunlight, which, you know, more sky, more Starlink.
Plus on the river.
Plus the river's gorgeous. Check that out. Anyway, so we
playgrounds, full hookups, all that kind of stuff is on the other side.
Yeah, it's on the forest side up the hill. Yeah, it was packed up there. There was only 2 spots.
Yeah.
Only one I think that we could get into. And we'd have to back downhill, and it was a little tight with a bunch of cars and stuff. So,
and while we're always up for full hookups, river and stuff seems pretty nice.
The river is nice. So we backed into a spot. So we have a spot, but we're gonna check out this other side just to be sure, because we haven't been here before.
Okay, we decided to go ahead and stay where we were. After we went through and looked at the other side, which was more crowded, but they're backed up right against the river. So we're over here. We can still see the river. I don't know, it's not as crowded. We decided we're gonna stay here. Also, as you can see, we've had a long day because there are cranky kids. Look at that little one right there. He's super cranky. Oh, he's smiling. He's so cranky right now. This kitty's ready to be out of the cart too. Yeah. All right, let's go get set up. How's it going, Coop? Don't smile and turn around. What? Your little cheeks are all the way up under your eyes, buddy. Is that because you're smiling, is it? You guys ever played the Don't You Smile game? Because Cooper is the worst at that game. No matter how cranky he is, all you have to say is don't smile and he immediately cracks.
Alright, so we got new tires on the truck. I didn't film any of that because there's not much to film. I was having meetings and stuff while they were installing the tires, but look at the tread depth. Night and day difference. Let's see if we can really illustrate that. I went with the Cooper AT3s. They were recommended by a guy I met in Tucson that runs a tire place. And he was saying that's what he put on his truck that he uses to trailer. So Cooper AT3s, hopefully they last a little bit longer than the BF Goodwrench, whatever those were. Those were something 3s. They're off-road tires. So, yeah, another one down. On to the next thing. All right, something we did not expect to do is replace this flange for the toilet. So our toilet was a little wobbly. I took it off. We have a cracked flange. Luckily there was a Lowe's nearby that had flanges, so time to replace that. Okay, so you can see this is totally loose. This is where the flange cracked, so this like isn't being held in by anything. So you can see the whole thing wobbles. And then the other one on the other side is much better.
Did you guys turn the heater off out there?
Alright, so there are the broken pieces of the flange, and they hold that bolt on, so the toilet was only being held down by one bolt, so we're going to replace all that with the new flange. I bought a 3-inch and a 4-inch because I wasn't sure which one I needed. Alright, so I'm going to show you on the clean one what I did, because I didn't end up using either of these. So the flange piece that we have, and what you probably have in your RV, looks just like this, except this piece is another like 6 inches long, and it goes into a tube that goes into the tank. So this thing would stop short and you just have stuff falling into a gap trying to hit the hole. So we don't want that. We got to get a piece that has a longer end on it like this. But what I did to fix it is that this section I showed you broke, and what that normally does is it takes a screw, or a bolt in this case, that goes like that and seats in there. Same on this side. And then the toilet sits on that, and that's what you connect down and you tighten the toilet to that. These all screw into the floor. What I did was notice that there's also these two holes. So I rotated the broken one 90 degrees, stuck the bolts in, and synced up the holes to where the holes were. I got 4 of them in right now instead of 8. But the whole thing's tight, and the toilet's sitting tight on it again. The broken piece I Gorilla Glued back together and then mounted it all back together. So it's not a permanent fix, but it's a good temporary fix where we should get no seepage. We should get a good seal and everything for like the next like week, hopefully less. Yeah.
We love stumbling upon these little natural water features in the campground. All right, we are less than
2 weeks.
Yeah, we're like 12 days away from crossing.
Mm-hmm. It was a busy day.
And these 2 weeks are important. It's like planning and pre-planning and getting all of our ducks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So today, what did you do?
New tail light, pumped up the spare tire, and then called like 50 places to figure out where we were going to get new tires for the camper. Which, if you want new tires for a truck, it's like, give us a day notice or come in right now and we'll just do it. But for the camper tires, they're like, well, we got to ship those. Everybody wants like custom, and like they don't keep them in stock. And so they're like, oh, it's a minimum of a week to get those tires. Well, we want to put new tires on in 5 days. So called a million places. I'm going to end up having to take a day off because nobody's open on Sundays. And we're going to do it on Friday. But we found some tires, so that's good.
Today, I went through and looked for the cat's rabies certificate, which I had. And I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to expire while we were in Alaska. And then I went ahead and scheduled an appointment next week to get her health certificate for travel.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a lot going on today.
I got to get the oil change, new windshield wipers. We got to fix a chip in the windshield. And then
2 chips.
2 chips in the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
And then oil change on the generator as well.
I am finalizing kids' curriculum because we will not be back into the lower 48 until probably well into October. So while we usually take a summer break for school, and which we will, I wanted to make sure that I had their books so that when we do need to start school, that I have them. And I know it's faster to get stuff here. It's not that I can't get it in Alaska. It just could take longer, and I can't predict where we're going.
All right, we had to pack up on a Friday, which we don't normally do, but we're getting new tires on the camper. This was the only day we could do it. So I took the day off of work, and we are all packed up. It is 8:30 in the morning, and we're gonna go get some new tires.
But we're coming back.
We are coming back.
Okay, go kitty.
All right, we're at the tire shop, just waiting for him to get around putting on the tires. But we made it. But if you can see in the background, right there, we left the pool noodles on the slide out. We've been putting the pool noodles on top so the awning doesn't rest on the slide out because the top part there is real thin. So yeah, totally left the pool noodles on. But they're really tight on there, so I'm not gonna move them. We're only like 6 miles from the tire place, so we won't even hit like 40 miles an hour.
Pretty new tires. All right, we're all done with tires. The kids have gone insane. Mark's paying, and then we're gonna head back to our campsite. After a full week of chores, it was finally time to head into Seattle to meet up with my friend Lisa and take a ferry ride out to Bainbridge Island.
Right.
Wait, is this
Right. My friend Lisa actually pulled in 2 cars behind us, and we were so thrilled to see her because it's been about 2 years when she visited us at Christmas time, and we were excited for a little fun finally. And if you've been following along with us, then you'll know we'll take any excuse to get out on the water. After the short ride, it was time to load up and head to our first destination. All right, so after our ferry ride, we are off on our first stop of the day, which is Pia the Peacekeeper, which is one of the 6 Pacific Northwest Dambo Trolls. We saw one in Portland last week, and this week we're checking one out in Seattle. If you missed our last episode while we were visiting Portland, I am on a quest to visit all of the 6 Pacific Northwest Dambo Trolls. And this is Pia the Peacekeeper, found out on Bainbridge Island. Dambo Trolls are a global phenomenon, and they contribute to a growing movement of public art that engages communities and promotes sustainability. Our next stop was the Madison Diner, which is an actual New Jersey diner that was transported across the country and restored. It's known for its hearty comfort food, including breakfast favorites. It was also featured on the show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know,
What?
We have over 10 million views on Google Maps.
You didn't take a picture of it, you're bad.
After that, it was time to check out all the local shops and cafes around downtown Bainbridge. It was a beautiful day out on the island, and we even visited the local farmers market. But the best thing was just visiting with our friend Lisa. All right, we are wrapping up our sightseeing in Seattle at Bainbridge Island today. We are on the ferry getting ready to get off. And we just said goodbye to my friend Lisa. And so, Lisa, if you're watching this, we had a great time with you today. And we can't wait to come and see you when we come back.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have asked for a nicer day, weather-wise. It just started raining as we got on the ferries. Man, look at that rainbow tonight on our way home. All right, so this week we stayed at Thousand Trails Thunderbird, which is about 45 minutes
outside of Seattle, downtown
Yeah.
Seattle.
How do we enjoy our week?
I loved it. The river's awesome. That's right behind you guys. So we got a great view of that all week. It's been really quiet. We did find not having full hookups
Was fine.
I mean, basically it's no sewer here.
Yeah.
You get water and electric where we're at. And we did dump because we had to move our camper. So we ended up dumping when we moved the camper to put the new tires on.
Yeah.
But we didn't really need to. We could have lasted the week without it.
Yeah.
So
for what it cost us with the camping pass, it was worth it. And I
Yeah.
would totally come back here again.
yeah.
You know, there's road noise right now. You might hear a couple cars, but like at night, I don't notice it at all. I think it dies down. This is a farm road.
Yeah.
So we're pretty out here and it's fairly quiet for the most part. And
Yeah.
you're in between two nice little cities, Sultan and Monroe. And they have pretty much everything you need in both of those. So
Yeah.
all in
Yeah.
all, I think a really good experience. And I would definitely stay here again.
Yeah, there's some great little bars or taverns, tap houses, whatever. In Sultan, we had some fantastic ciders.
We had some like cherry cider that was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently the fishing on this river for like steelhead and like different kinds of salmon and stuff is phenomenal. So,
And we're hope to check that out when we come back from Alaska. Join us on next week's episode when we have a problem before we even make it out of the campground. And then we head further north to Bellingham, Washington, check out some waterfalls, the coastline, and the Tulip Festival before we cross the Canadian border and head to Alaska. If you enjoyed our video today, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thanks, everyone.